you make some coffee?
Nope.
Some orange juice.
Uh-uh.
No? Oh, some lemon lime then.
I'll make whenever you want some cold. I'll make iced tea ready.
I don't think I'll drink one.
Till next time.
Maybe I'll make mine. So I did
Is Bobby singing this one?
It'd be a good excuse to divorce the car.
Yeah.
All right, did you, Kimberly? Yeah?
Well, you can turn it off, no consent.
I agree with you more.
I don't know what this country is coming to when people cannot walk the streets in broad daylight without fearing for their safety.
Well, it's just a sad state of affairs.
Violence is just on a rampage these days. It makes you want to run into a corner and hide.
I'm afraid they would find you there, too.
Probably. I'm afraid you're right. Well, I had best get back to work. Will you please give Dr. Putnam my best? And
I will.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Okay.
Hello.
Well, hello.
Well, I thought you had the day off.
Well, I do. Well, I did until the hospital called, and apparently I have a patient that is running a fever, and I decided I should come in and look in on him. Actually, I welcome the fact to get away from the house for a while. Quite a luxury. But may I ask what you're doing here? I thought you would be gone by now.
Oh, I'm in no hurry tonight. Lee's out on the campaign trail. In fact, he's doing a stag dinner at one of the moose lodges. So I'm on my own.
It doesn't sound like you're missing anything.
That's what I told Lee.
Listen, why don't we have dinner together? I mean, we could just run across to the rear.
That is a terrific idea. I would love to do that.
Terrific. I shall go up, take a look at my patient, and then we'll be on our way.
Okay. Oh, listen, now, if you want to spend the evening with your family, Monica, you know, just because I'm hung up like this, you don't have to keep me company.
No, trust me. I do not want to spend another minute in that house. I really can't stand anybody, except for Lila, of course. I'm talking about the male people in that family. Anybody by the name of Quartermain is making me sick at this moment.
Well, Alan, what a surprise. What can I do for you? Oh, well, I see. You want me to guess. Oh, fine. Well, obviously you came here to talk to me. Now, what about? Okay, look, it was very nice chatting with you. Why don't we do this again sometime real soon? Alan, can you get to the point? What can I do for you?
Stay out of my life.
Well, this had better be good. I never would have called you, Gregory, if it weren't urgent.
It could have waited. I can't simply walk out of that casino whenever I feel like it. There are far too many people who ask questions, including Luke Spencer.
Well, that's just a damn shame. We all have our covers to maintain. You never hesitate to call me when you want information.
You follow orders. You don't give them. I trust this won't happen again.
Well, now, that all depends on you.
What are you talking about?
Murder. Or attempted murder, anyway.
In that incident with the motorcycles?
Among others.
Don't kid yourself, Grant. If those men were supposed to have killed you, you'd be dead. That was just a warning.
Very effective.
Good. I hoped you'd get the point.
Which is?
You refused the direct order.
I imagine that was it.
You were instructed to kill Dr. Gerald, and you refused, so this afternoon's demonstration became necessary to remind you who you are.
By terrifying me and my wife.
Seems to be the only way to get through to you. And as for that woman you call your wife, she'll be perfectly safe. If you do as you're told.
Kill Dr. Gerald.
And whatever else is required.
Tell me something, Gregory. What happens to Celia after I've completed the task?
Nothing. I'll have no further interest in her. Nor should you. Well, now that this is settled, you will proceed as planned. The deadline is still Monday. You'll receive further instructions as necessary, but for now, all you need to know is that you're going to steal the microfilm and kill Dr. Gerald. Is that clear? Oh, Grant. What should be abundantly clear by now is how easy it would be to eliminate Celia if you refuse a second time. She will die. And if you're thinking about defecting to the other side, remember, there are many others to take my place. You'd spend the remainder of whatever life you might have on the run. And in the end, you'd both be dead. So I'll ask you once more, are you prepared to carry out your orders?
Okay, Gregory. You win. I'll do exactly as you ask. On Monday, I'll kill Dr. Gerald.
General Hospital will continue in a moment.
You're still using two products to clean and soften clothes? Why hassle? Break the softener habit. For easy softening, clean with Yes. Yes detergent has the softener built in.
With Yes, I get cleaning power that won't quit, but goes in looking mean. Comes out Yes clean. And soft. And no sticky static.
Break the softener habit. For easy softening, clean with Yes.
The animals are coming, we're all brand new. Mead makes a critter sitter just for you. Critter sitter animals any old size. On a whole new bunch of school supplies. There's a beaver. And a beagle.
And a baby bear.
A bunny. And a kitten. All sitting right there on folders, pads, and notebooks too. It's like coming to class with a private zoo.
We're the critter sitters. We may not help your grades,
but we'll sure raise your spirits.
Look for the critter sitters, only from Mead.
Please sign this petition, Georgie. Petition? She wants to call Kraft Macaroni and Cheese Kraft Cheese and Macaroni. Annie, the cheese can't come first. But it's the cheese sauce that makes it taste so good.
Kraft Macaroni and Cheese Dinner, made with genuine Kraft cheddar. What could taste better?
Annie, people won't call it Kraft Cheese and Macaroni. Are you kids enjoying your Kraft Cheese and Macaroni? Thanks, Mom.
Kraft Cheese and Macaroni.
Sunday, Matt Houston takes on his toughest case in a special 2-hour movie.
So, it's fall. So what? So all. It's the second big week of Northwest Fabric's So It's Fall fabric sale. We're open Labor Day, so go. Sew up your fall.
New Grandma's chocolate chip cookies.
You know what bugs me about some of them chocolate chip cookies, Bessie? No. They're hard and dry. Got no character. That's right. But yours are crispy. Yep. Fresh tasting, lots of chips. I might add delicious. But the amazing part is, you're the worst cook in Crawford County. What happened? Just a late bloomer, I suppose.
New Grandma's cookies taste suspiciously close to homemade.
Grand Tree's blown out all the stops for this year's gigantic Labor Day sale, happening now. Prices have been slashed 20 to 50% throughout the store. Save $100 on this queen-size sofa sleeper, now just $188. Only $128 buys you this 3-piece bookcase, and our king-size papasan chair is an incredibly low $118. Don't miss the 20 to 50% store-wide savings during Grand Tree's Labor Day sale. For furniture new and rental return, shop Grand Tree, where instant credit makes buying even easier.
KXLY, ABC for the Inland Northwest.
Would anyone care for another drink?
Not for me, thanks.
I'm fine, too.
I wonder whatever happened to those hors d'oeuvres.
Sorry, they took just a little bit longer than I expected.
Well, what have we got here? We're starved.
Darling, in this tray, we have little Franks wrapped in bacon with a toothpick. It's all the rage this season.
Yum.
And no, I didn't forget you don't eat meat. For you, especially for you, Jake, we have shrimp. A hostess is always prepared. Try one, darling.
I'd rather not.
Well, why not, honey? I ordered them especially for you.
I really appreciate it, but I think I better not.
You're not allergic to them.
Well, in a way.
Oh, I had no idea.
Oh, listen, forget it. What's for dinner?
Oh, this?
Okay, well, for dinner, we defer to you, Rose, of course.
We do?
No meat, right?
Oh, because it's Friday? No, those days are long gone. Fridays are just like any other day.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter now.
Well, then, for a main course, of course, we are having lobster. Now, how does that sound?
Oh, great.
Good girl. How about you, Jake? You're allergic to that, too?
Honey, maybe he just doesn't like seafood.
No, it's not that. Look, aside from not eating any meat, I was raised a kosher diet. It's just the way I was brought up. I don't eat shellfish of any kind.
Oh.
Really, it's no problem. I can eat anything. Have you got some lettuce lying around somewhere?
No. That is certainly not enough for my guest. I think I'll make a phone call.
Excuse me.
Ooh, boy, don't I feel like a jerk.
Well, I don't blame you.
Well, you're a lot of help.
I mean, you did kind of put a damper on the evening.
Well, what was I supposed to do? Not say anything?
Just this once, since you went to all this trouble, couldn't you bend your rules a little and eat what's offered?
Oh, I would love to, Rose, but I can't.
You mean you won't?
No, I mean I'd get sick if I do.
Come on, Jake.
It's true. It would really make the evening, wouldn't it?
You mean to tell me you get sick from a few bites of lobster?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
I find that hard to swallow. No pun intended. But nobody's asking you to stuff yourself. Just be polite.
Would it be polite for me to spend the entire dinner in the bathroom?
You wouldn't have to do that.
Listen, I am not making this up to aggravate people. This is the way I am.
Yes, stubborn.
You know, you could be a tad more sensitive to my problem.
And you could be a tad more aware of other people's feelings.
Why? You seem to make a career of reminding me of it.
Don't flatter yourself.
Don't worry, I won't. You know, you think I'm enjoying this.
I think you don't care about anyone but yourself.
Look who's talking. You've been waiting all evening to get a shot at me. Well, go ahead, Rose. I can't defend myself. Go ahead and get your licks in. It's what you do best.
Oh, I am so glad we're in luck. Would you believe that Brian can go out and get chicken for you?
I don't want to be a bother.
Now, listen, there's no trouble. But next time you come here, bring some of your own stuff, will you?
I'm sorry I ruined the evening for everyone.
Jake, lighten up. I was only kidding.
Well, I just think it's best if I just go.
Come on, man.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, let's eat. Now.
What's my gripe with you? How much time have you got?
I really don't have that much time. I'm busy, so...
That's too bad. For starters, I want to know, why were you trying to throw your weight around in my gatehouse? I mean, who the hell do you think you are? I've never seen such colossal arrogance.
You ought to know.
You don't order people around on my property. You don't tell them who stays and who goes. Now, I don't know what kind of power you think you have over us, but I'm not going to stand by and watch you try to wreck my marriage.
I'm not trying to wreck your marriage. I was just trying to help your son. You ought to be thanking me, not reading me the riot act.
I haven't even started on you yet.
I was just trying to help Jason. Is that a crime?
He's my son. You leave him to me.
I'm not sure you can appreciate his problem. I know something about being disowned.
Leave me out of this.
And I don't want to see that happen to Jason, okay?
Why would you ever think that something like that was going to happen to Jason?
Oh, well, it runs in the family, doesn't it?
Look, you made your point.
Well, I just want to see if you're listening.
How could I help it?
Look, you don't have to tell me how to protect my son. Why do you think I put Heather and Jason in that gatehouse in the first place?
Well, I thought it was her idea more than yours.
Did you? Neither of them would be there if I hadn't put them there in the first place.
No, wait a second. I'm getting confused
here. Well, thank heaven. I was beginning to think it was just me.
If we both want what's good for Jason, what are we fighting about?
That's a good question.
I don't like your attitude.
Well, I'm not crazy about yours.
You know, it's a good thing I kept you two apart when you were growing up. You would have killed each other by now.
Well, we may yet.
Well, it's never too late.
Oh, now hold it. Just a moment. Honestly, I wish you two could hear yourselves. You agree with each other. From where I stand, it sounds like you're both saying that a man should look after his own. Am I right?
Yeah.
Well, so what's wrong with that? In fact, that's exactly what I intend to do. You know, you have no idea what a joy it is for me to have my two sons with me right now. In fact, I think the three of us should resolve that in the future, when there's any kind of trouble, we'll come to each other first and talk it out man to man. No women allowed. That way, we'll avoid all this endless bickering and save ourselves a whale of a lot of grief. Now, what do you say, All right, I'm not going to ask you to shake hands, not yet, but, you know, it would give me the greatest pleasure in the world to take you both out and buy you a drink. What do you say, The floating rib?
If you've ever seen the play of light on hair, you've seen highlights. Now Clairol gives you those exquisite touches of light with new light effects. It doesn't change your color, but gives it radiance. Light effects, the application of light to selected strands of hair in a kit created for your natural hair color. Light effects, quite new from Clairol.
I didn't buy new extra-strength Datril capsules just because they come sealed in this protective metal canister. I bought them for what's inside. Datril has the exact same aspirin-free pain reliever, strength, and effectiveness as extra-strength Tylenol. Exactly the same. I know, I asked my doctor. But extra-strength Tylenol capsules can cost so much more. So I'm staying with Datril. Why would I pay that much more for the same relief? Why would anybody?
Extra-strength Datril tablets and new capsules from Bristol-Myers.
I'm 5'10", with a 24-inch waist, and my P.S. Gitano jeans fit me perfectly. P.S. I love me.
I've got a 24-inch waist, too, but I'm 5'5". My proportions are different here, and so are my proportionally sized P.S. Gitanos.
P.S. I love me.
I've got a 24-inch waist, and I'm only 5 feet tall. My proportions are different, but so are my P.S. Gitanos. P.S. I love me.
P.S. Gitano, the new sizing system for the fit you'll love.
Ooh, clingy clothes.
Get the only lemon-freshened detergent for a clean that breaks the static barrier. Fab with full-strength fabric softener.
Full-strength fabric softener plus full-strength detergent and Fab? Fabulous! No more staticky socks. And look, this is really clean.
Funny soft, Mom.
And lemony fresh.
Get a clean that breaks the static barrier.
Oh, Fab, we're glad there's full-strength fabric softener in you.
Well, thanks again. I enjoyed it, really. Rose. Yeah, me too.
Hey, how about giving us another chance sometime?
Hey, whenever you ask. Soon. Okay. Bye. Okay. It's your turn.
What?
Come on, let's just get it over with.
We already did that.
Don't you have something to say to me?
As a matter of fact, I do. I love you.
What did I do to deserve you?
Nothing. You lucked out.
Okay, I'll give you one shot. Come on. I told you so.
Wild horses couldn't drag it out of me.
Thanks.
Next time we'll get it right.
Next time, I will know better.
It was a nice try.
Right. How about helping me clear this table?
Absolutely. I wouldn't want you to cut your throat. Just out of curiosity, just how much did all this cost?
Well, you don't want to know.
Yeah, that bad.
I'd say it's worse.
Let's put it this way. Could we have gone to the Versailles room for this amount of money?
Several times.
You're right. I am sorry I asked.
What happened?
Nothing.
What do you mean? Didn't you see Ramsey?
Nope.
Why not?
Because he wasn't in, darling. I saw a sergeant instead. It was really very strange.
How?
Well, he told me that they already knew all about it.
I don't understand.
They've got it under investigation.
But how could they so quickly, Grant? You just reported it.
I know. Something's going on, I guess.
Like what?
I don't know. They asked me to keep quiet about the whole incident.
Why?
See, I have no idea. The sergeant said that we should forget the whole thing, that they'd take care of everything.
Didn't they even want you to try and identify the men?
No, they said that wasn't necessary.
How odd. I'm very surprised that there's already an investigation underway.
I can understand. I was surprised, too. But the sergeant obviously didn't want to talk about it, so I didn't press him.
I don't blame you, darling. You're obviously just as upset about all this as I am.
I just can't believe it.
Listen, I have an idea. Why don't you and I just play it safe and get out of here for a little while?
We could never go far enough.
Pardon? Grant?
I'm sorry, what were you saying, darling?
I think we should go to my father's house in Long Island.
This weekend?
Why not? It would do us both a lot of good. Don't you want to get away?
Well, yes, of course I do, but this is Labor Day weekend.
So what?
So what? So the roads will be unbearable, Celia. The traffic's going to be impassable.
It wouldn't be that bad, Grant. We're only going to Long Island. That is not that far away.
Celia, everyone in the world will be traveling this weekend.
Grant, come on. Why can't we just... I know. Father always goes to Block Island for the Labor Day weekend. He's like you. He hates crowds. He always used to say that Labor Day was the worst day of the year.
He was right.
I can hardly wait. For a boat show? Big deal. It is not a boat show. It's a regatta, the Labor Day regatta. Same thing. Boring.
Excuse me, what's all this about a regatta?
That's right. It's held every Labor Day.
Oh, and I suppose a lot of boats show up, huh?
Hundreds. The river is filled with them. If you hurry, you may still be able to reserve yourself a wave. But, they're going fast. I think she believed me.
Gregory, Natalie, brace yourself. We have got a big problem. Do you know what happens in Port Charles on Labor Day? No, I didn't think you did.
I have to know and trust the products I bring into my home, and that's especially true of our pain reliever. The pain reliever I give my family is Tylenol. I discovered Tylenol in a hospital after the birth of my second child, and I really liked the way it worked. Turns out Tylenol is the pain reliever hospitals use most, and that's been true for more than 10 years. As a mother, I find that very reassuring.
For relief you can trust Tylenol. Hospitals do. Tylenol, safety sealed for your protection.
What makes your life a little easier to manage?
Protection by design.
When things go crazy, what can you count on?
Protection by design.
OB tampons, designed by a woman gynecologist to give you something no other tampon does. A system of rolled layers. 15 rolled layers of protection. So go put on that sensational new dress and dance till 3 with Protection by Design.
Separates that fit are on sale this week at Sears. Save $6 to $15 on these mix and match separates. Choose pants that fit for only $9.99. Save $15 on the blazer, only $24.99. Separates that fit different shapes and sizes in your choice of colors. Save $6 on both the skirt and blouse. So choose your separates, choose your size, and get together your separates that fit at these great savings through Saturday at Sears.
Hi, I'm Bill O'Neill. Yesterday on News 4, we reported the death of Senator Henry Jackson. 71-year-old senator who had served 44 years in Congress died of a massive heart attack last night at his home in Everett. Full report coming up today on News 4. We also told you that Michael Kemp has been sentenced to 35 years in jail for last January's brutal attack of a Gonzaga University co-ed. And we updated you on the teacher strike going on in Cheney. Find out what's happening today. Join us 5, 6, and 11, News 4.
ABC News in Washington. Here is correspondent Barry Seraphin.
Good afternoon. This has been a day of charge and countercharge and red-hot rhetoric in the controversy following the incident in which a Soviet fighter plane shot down a Korean jetliner. President Reagan, before leaving California, where he cut short his vacation to return to Washington, today issued a very strong statement in which he accused the Soviets of flagrantly lying about what he called that barbaric act. A short time later, the Soviet news agency TASS accused Mr. Reagan of impudent slander in his remarks. The TASS statement also revealed or claimed that the Soviet aircraft fired warning shots with tracer shells along, as it called, the flying route of the plane. The TASS statement then insisted again, as the Soviets did yesterday, that the Korean plane left that area and continued on its flight toward the Sea of Japan. Now, there have been similar charges and countercharges in the UN Security Council this afternoon, and just a few minutes ago, Secretary of State George Shultz provided the latest round as he talked with reporters at the State Department.
The Soviet Union has today issued another statement in its continuing effort to cover up the facts of the inhuman Soviet attack on an unarmed civilian airliner. They still will not admit the truth that they shot down an unarmed civilian aircraft. The facts are, 1, the aircraft was a commercial airliner on a regularly scheduled flight, and the Soviet fighter came close enough to see that. 2, the passengers on the flight came from many nations and included a number of women and children. 3, the airliner in question was not of U.S. registry. 4, the United States was not aware that the Korean airliner was in jeopardy until after it was shot down. Our first knowledge of this incident was based on subsequent analysis of Soviet defense activity. TASS also asserts that the Soviet aircraft fired warning shots with tracer shells along the route of the plane. We know the Soviet pilot reported that he had fired on the target and it was destroyed. There is no indication that the Soviets tried to warn the plane by firing tracers. The Soviet Union is clearly engaged in an effort to divert attention from its own actions by false claims of a U.S. intelligence connection with a Korean civilian airliner. None of this can obscure the facts. The Soviet Union must accept the responsibility for having shot down an unarmed commercial airliner, taking the lives of 269 human beings. No cover-up, however brazen and elaborate, can change this reality or absolve the Soviet Union of its responsibility to explain its behavior. The world is waiting for the Soviet Union to tell the truth.
Those remarks from Secretary of State George Shultz just minutes ago at the State Department. Now, also at the State Department is our correspondent Barry Dunsmore. And Barry, the rhetoric is obviously heating up in this thing. At the same time, American officials are indicating that there won't be any dramatic steps, such as discontinuing arms control negotiations. Where are we now? Where's this thing leading?
Well, first of all, Barry, I think we should note that Secretary Shultz will still go ahead and meet with Soviet Foreign Minister Gromyko next week in Madrid. They have repeated that again today. The question has been asked, what are we doing? I think we're seeing what the United States plans to do. It is holding the Soviet feet to the fire. It recognizes that there is a propaganda bonanza here to be had, certain advantages to demonstrate what the Soviet Union is really like, and the administration is doing this with full force.
All right. Thank you very much, Barry Dunsmore. President Reagan arrived back in Washington within the past half hour. He'll be meeting with National Security Council officials later on in just a short time. And this evening, we'll bring you a complete wrap-up of all of the events of today on ABC's World News Tonight. In Washington, I'm Barry Seraphin.
This special report has come to you from ABC News in Washington. We now resume our regular program schedule.
Yeah, you might as well.
Fine.
All right, I will. Can I get you anything first?
No, thanks, Doc.
Oh, excuse me. Quartermain residence? Oh, yes, he is, Doctor. Just a moment, please. It's for you.
Stella, who is it?
Doctor something. I didn't catch his name. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Thanks. Yes, this is Dr. Putnam.
This is Gregory.
Yes, Doctor. What can I do for you?
Just listen. I thought you'd like to know that you have a reprieve.
Oh?
You don't have to kill Dr. Gerald. At least not on Monday.
Well, why?
It seems that Fort Charles is having a regatta on Labor Day, and all those extra boats in the river could interfere with your escape. So your friend has been given a stay of execution.
For how long?
1 week.
I see. Well, I suppose there's nothing we can really do about it.
Grant, don't sound so disappointed.
So, in other words, we'll have to postpone the operation.
That's correct, Doctor. Your patient has another week before his condition becomes terminal. Enjoy it.
Now, a breakthrough design in feminine protection. Dots. Introducing new Freedom Thin Maxi Pads and new Funnel Dots protection. A protection you've never had in a regular thin. Dots. Only in new Freedom Thin Maxis. So, follow the dots to new Freedom Thin Maxis and discover Funnel Dots protection. Look for the box with the dots. Dots.
Making Garanimals look good isn't good enough, so we use safety stitching to make them last good and long. Fashion counts, but so do fabrics and fasteners you can count on. Garanimals. They're as well made as any kid's clothes at any price. We design them to go together, but we build them to stay together.
Here's a trash bag like no other. The new Glad handle-tie trash bag. One snap, you've got two handles. Just tie them together to close the bag tight. No twist ties to come off. The handles are tough, too. So this bag does a lot more than just hold the trash. This bag helps you get a handle on it. Real sensible. The new Glad handle-tie trash bag makes that long haul to the curb seem shorter. Get Glad handle-tie bags for your kitchen, too.
Many women stopped using tampons because of their associated risk with toxic shock syndrome. If you're one of them, you probably think you're safe. But surprisingly, if you use a diaphragm, there may also be a risk. A recent study found that women who wear diaphragms for 24 hours or more are also at risk of developing toxic shock syndrome. Leaving the diaphragm in that long allows the bacteria that produces TSS to grow. So for contraceptive safety, keep the diaphragm in place for 6 to 8 hours. Then remove it without delay, and you'll be protected and healthy.
Friday. It's daring. It's spectacular. It's nothing short of terrific when Hollywood's biggest stars risk it all, celebrity daredevils. And on Saturday, college football is back as the Rose Bowl champion UCLA Bruins try and take a bite out of the mighty Georgia Bulldogs. It's a power-packed weekend on ABC.
At Tidyman's Warehouse Foods, we've made the commitment to process every cut of meat we sell under strict